Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to McClain Gymnasium, where we have a dual wrestling meet this evening between the Tigers of McClain High School and the Panthers of Miami Trace High School here in a Frontier Athletic Conference matchup. Tonight will just be a dual meet, although we will have both high school and junior high wrestling taking place this evening concurrently. So just for your information, our main mat this evening will be the high school mat, and we will keep the scoreboard for the high school match up down in the corner. We'll continue to update that through the matches. We're going to go through weight-wise, starting with the 132-pound match that to be between Tristan Nichols and Riston LeBeau. So that will be taking place shortly. We've got some introductions here in-house, but we'll also have the junior high mat on your screen as well. It'll be in the top right corner as we get underway here. So we'll be getting things going here in just a short bit of time. So until then, sit tight. We'll have wrestling for you periodically. And so we prepare to get things underway here at McClain Gymnasium. We'll go ahead and once again explain the layout for this evening. Your main mat is on the screen. And then in the upper right-hand corner, we'll have the junior high mat taking place. Once again, we'll begin on the lower weights. We do have a few forfeits in the lower weights. So forfeits in the lower weights. Miami Trace's Corbin Melvin gets the victory by way of forfeit in the 106-pound weight class. On the 120-pound side of things, Jason Hauser from Miami Trace will also pick up a win. And in the 113-pound weight class, Titus, what looks to be Lear, will get the victory for the Panthers by way of forfeit as well. So our first match this evening on the high school mat will be the 132-pounders. Once again, for the Tigers, that'll be Tristan Nichols. And for the Panthers, looks to be Riston LeBeau. So those are 132-pounders. We'll get those underway in a moment. And as mentioned before, the main darker color mat that you see below you, the official walking across right now toward the center of the circle, that will be the high school mat. We will call those matches. And then you can see a couple of our junior high athletes will be taking the mat to start things out on the mat in the upper right-hand corner, the kind of little bit brighter purple. That will be your mat for the junior high side of things. So we'll go ahead and get things started here and prepare to have high school and junior high wrestling underway here at McClain Gymnasium. LeBeau will pick up the quick takedown, gets 2 points. Nichols picks up 1 on the escape, but LeBeau right back to it with the takedown. Once again, now working on the mat. Nichols still has his knees. LeBeau looks to turn him now into a cradle type position. Nichols back to his knees, now to his base again. 4-1 here in this opening period. And he will roll Nichols over and get the pin as he just crumples his upper body to the floor, or to the mat, rather. And so Miami Trace picks up the victory here early in this first matchup. We'll go ahead and get set for our second matchup of the evening. And for that matchup, it looks to be the 138-pounders getting on the mat. That'll be Lucas Jansen for the Tigers. And for the Panthers, looks to be Aiden Johnson. So we'll get that match underway. Both wrestlers going at it. Now looks like Johnson will pick up 2 early on with the takedown for the Panthers. Circling around, Jansen back to his base now, looking to stand up, get the escape. Jansen hooks around with his left arm around Johnson's left leg. Johnson, though, has the upper body. Now Jansen looks to be able to reverse it. He does get the reversal and now takes control. Jansen now on top, reaching through, fingers clasped. Now looks to roll him. Now turns Johnson to his back. And what was a quick takedown for the Panthers is now the offensive maneuver for the Tigers, as Jansen looks to earn plenty of back points here. Holding up the opposite leg of Johnson. Rolls him over once again. Johnson stuck in a predicament here as Jansen has a firm finger grasp reaching through the 5-hole. Jansen now reaching across, not only locking the hands but locking the ankles. Johnson now tries to get back to his base. Jansen on top, still clasped, strong finger grip. Update the points here. Missed some back points. We now have 8 for Jansen after the reversal. And that'll end our first period here. So our first period comes to a close in this 138-pound matchup. Jansen will take the down position going into the second. Johnson with the top, looking to control. Jansen reaches back through, grabs a leg, stands straight up, and the referee will stop the action here as Jansen just stood right up and was giving Johnson a little bit of a ride. Now they'll go to neutral position after that stand up. So they do give the escape to Jansen. He now leads 9-2, 1:45 here on the clock in the second period. No one with control right now. Johnson crumpled over, Jansen on top. And now they give the takedown to Johnson, so he will earn 2 on that. Now bringing the score to 9-4 here in the second period. 1:20 left on the clock in period number 2 in the 138-pound matchup between Aiden Johnson of the Panthers and Lucas Jansen of the Tigers. He has an arm, does Johnson here, but Jansen able to stand up. He has a leg. Now he goes to stand up and reverses. So he'll pick up another 2, making the score 11-4 as the clock ticks under a minute now. Now down to 50 seconds. 11-4 your score right now in the second period. Right on the edge of the mat, and action flows out of the circle, so they'll bring it back. 41.2 is what it says on the clock here in-house. Jansen with control now rolls him over. We'll get back points. Once again, that grip of Lucas Jansen in tight as he reaches through the back door. And Johnson does a nice job breaking that grip. Stands up from his base. Jansen right back through. Putting him back through onto the floor. Jansen with a leg. If Johnson can stand up and through, he'll have a chance here. Time ticks down. 3, 2, 1. Couple extra points there from back points. Make their way onto the board, and we'll make our way into the third period here. Johnson goes neutral. 14-4 your score right now. So a 10-point lead for Jansen, but now 8 as Johnson will get the takedown. And Johnson will let him go. The escape goes to Jansen. 15-6 now in the third period. 1:30 left on the clock. Jansen now with the takedown. 17-8 your score. We'll get that updated here. I apparently didn't get the click in on the last takedown for Johnson, so 17-8 is the score here in the third. 1:08 left on the clock. Johnson looks to sit out as he was on the bottom. Underhook for Jansen. Reaching around now under a minute. 53. And we'll have a hold that's stopped by the referee as Jansen was coming across the throat, so a legal hold. They'll give a point here to Johnson. That'll up his total to 9, so an 8-point deficit now with 50 seconds left on the clock here in the third period. Johnson sits out, now stands up. Jansen works him down. Johnson with a chance to roll him if he could continue that momentum, but unfortunately not able to gain that control. Jansen still in the lead here as we go under 30 seconds. Now 25-24 on the clock. Johnson's going to have to do some work quickly here and hope to have a big move. And no one able to gain control. The referee will bring him back to the center. Johnson will be down. Jansen controlling, satisfied to ride the last few seconds of the match out. Jansen will get the warning. What looks to be a stall, 4.5 on the clock. Doing a little bit more work, just enough here. Johnson tries to stand up, but to no avail here as the clock ticks down to none left. And Jansen will pick up the victory here on the 138-pound weight class for the Tigers. So one apiece now in the action that has taken place, and we'll get set for match number 3. That'll be the 145-pounders. That'll be Riley Potter for McClain, wearing the green anklet, and for the Panthers looks to be Asher LeBeau. So we'll get things started here in the first period for those two wrestlers from the stand-up position. Dancing, both with an underhook. Now looks like LeBeau will get the takedown as he controls Podorf. Working from the mat now. Podorf stands, works his way out of the circle. Both standing up. But unfortunately, Podorf there for the Tigers unable to break the clasp, so he will be down as he comes back in. And the referee explaining a few things here. LeBeau working from the position of control on top. Now looks to roll Riley over. Once again, just trying to brute force him over, and he does. Now has control. Chance for a rear headlock, but has the underhook. Stretching out that left arm of Podorf. Now both arms behind. Armbar now. Now reaches around to the waist. Podorf with a chance if he can peel and step, and he will get the escape if he's able, but unfortunately just too close to the edge of the mat. And he does get the escape. They do give him the point. So we'll draw 2-1 now, the lead for the Panthers. LeBeau here in the first period. 25 seconds left on the clock. Podorf looking to get a single leg if he can get the takedown here. LeBeau doing a nice job staying balanced, but now Podorf looks like he will get the 2 for the takedown and looks to control. Now has a chance for some back points. We'll get 2 back points. And just like that, what was a 1-point advantage for Miami Trace turns into a 3-point advantage for the Tigers now going into the second period. So a big turnaround there by Riley Podorf as he's able to explode with about 30 seconds left in the first period, and gains not only the escape, but then gets a takedown and some back points to boot after that, and has a 5-2 advantage starting the second. Podorf will be down. LeBeau on top. Podorf looks to get to his base, very wide base there as he extends both arms, trying to stand up, now looking to peel. And he will get the escape, so another point now for the Tigers in this third match of the evening for the 145-pounders. Toward the edge of the mat, and the action pushes outside, so they'll make their way back to the center. Neutral, both wrestlers standing up. Shot there by LeBeau. They dance back and forth, arms extended. Wrist control for Podorf, looks to shoot in, now gets the right leg for a single, gets what looks to be a takedown, but too far outside the circle. So no points awarded there. 6-2 stands as our score now. 1:08 left in the second period. Shot there by LeBeau. Good job by Podorf to sprawl. He'll reach through the 5-hole. Both wrestlers reaching between the legs and grasping behind. Podorf trying to turn, trying to get to his side. LeBeau still has that grip, now broken. Podorf now to his back. Has an opportunity here, and he will get 2 points for having control. But now quickly 2 more points go the way of LeBeau as he's able to get the reversal. Now back points are going to be earned by LeBeau, and he gets the pin. Oh, what looked to be Podorf with control. He unfortunately gets rolled over, and LeBeau is able to put the pressure down. And LeBeau picks up the victory for the Panthers. So we'll reset, get ourselves ready to go here in our next matchup. The fourth matchup for the evening will be in the 152-pound weight class, and it'll be Landon Wheeler for the Tigers. And for the Panthers, what looks to be McClain Callahan. So we'll get ourselves set up there as Wheeler and Callahan in this 145-pound weight class get going, and Wheeler gets a quick 2 points on the takedown. Escape now for Wheeler. Now another quick 2. Wheeler content to take shots and get the 2 points and cut, or Callahan content to take the shots and get the takedowns, where as he cuts Wheeler loose, he gives up a point but looks to gain another 2 in the process. So 6-2 now, Callahan's lead here in the first. 1:10, now 1:09 left on the clock here in this opening period on the mat. Now back points, and Callahan, if he could sit his hips back, would have an opportunity for a pin in an unconventional way. Wheeler looks to throw his right shoulder up, avoiding danger for the time being. Wheeler now pushing that right arm down. Correction, Callahan pushing that right arm down. Callahan now with control on top, and he will get the pin here in the first period. So another victory for the Panthers. And these lower weights going the way of Miami Trace here early. Next matchup, we'll jump to the 160-pound weight class, and we'll have Ethan Burns from the Tigers. He will take on Vincent Monroe for the Panthers. So Burns and Monroe will go at it here. Action now in this 160-pound weight class matchup as we get toward the middle tier weights. Both will dance. Monroe trying to get the control, and he does as they get toward the edge of the circle. And Monroe will get the 2 for the takedown right on the edge of the wrestling ring. So now 2-0, the score for Monroe in the red. And the referee stops things, telling Monroe to wait for his whistle. Monroe with top control. Burns looking to get out of the clutches of the Panther. Monroe on top. And Monroe will cut him loose. So Burns gets the point for the escape. And Monroe quick back to tie up. Underhook with that right arm. Reaching around the neck of Burns. Burns looked to be in trouble there and gets a little bit out of position. Monroe will get the takedown. So 2 points for him. Now what looks to be back points. Burns bridging just outside that inner circle. Now he rolls back over, so it'll be 3 back points awarded to Monroe here in the first period. Now under 20 seconds, 16 and 15 now ticking on the clock. Now under 10. Burns looks to roll out but cannot escape. And we'll go 3, 2, 1, and time is stopped here at the end of the first period. So now the score 1-7, Monroe with the lead as we make our way into the second period. They'll go neutral to start. Both standing up, hitting the mat at the same time, synchronized. Now Burns takes a shot, looking for anything to grab a hold of. Monroe does a great job sprawling there, keeping only Burns' fingertips with an option, and Monroe will circle around. Action at the center of the mat. Burns earns a point, and I don't know if I missed a signal, but they haven't put it up on the scoreboard yet either. I was assuming Monroe would get the takedown, and they did not award the 2 points there. So 1 point, what looked to be an escape for Burns. Burns' headgear comes off, and the referee will stop the match for a period here as Burns will reattach his headgear. And the Miami Trace coach will have a question for the referee, as probably the same question that I have. Where did the 2 points for Monroe that would have been a takedown go, as Burns was awarded a point? And so they do give 2 points to Monroe now on the scoreboard in-house. So now we sit at 2-9, which is what many probably would have expected in watching that. Now we're at 1:12 here left in the second period. Monroe with a 7-point advantage over Ethan Burns of McClain. Burns looking to be the aggressor here as we tick under a minute, but they push their way out the top of the circle. And so they'll come back to the center, both standing up. Burns looks to tie up now. Monroe coming through, now standing back up. Underhook, now reaches through, looks to get a single leg on Burns' left, but both out. And Burns had a warning from before, and they throw up the fist once again. So Monroe will get a point for the same offense of stalling. By way of Burns. Now we're under 30 seconds left in the second period. 2-10 your score right now. The Panthers, Vincent Monroe leading here in the 160-pound weight class matchup between Ethan Burns and Vincent Monroe. Now under 10 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3. 2 points now toward the end of the period for Monroe. That'll get him to 12, and it'll be a 10-point lead going into the third period for Vincent Monroe, as he's doing quite a bit of work here for the Panthers in the 160-pound weight class. Burns will take the top. Monroe looking to stand up. quickly to his feet. Burns around the waist. And they'll come back in. Point now for correction. They give the point to Green. And they will check with the scores table. Right now, in-house, we sit at 13-3. So now 14-3 is what they'll make it in-house here for Monroe. Updating the board here in-house. Or correction, they readjust and make it 14-2. So the point was only for Monroe there. The action pushes out of the ring. Now back to the center, both standing up, both with hands on knees, tired here. Monroe hits the deck. Burns goes to shoot. Both out. Monroe controlling, though. Enough body parts in the ring. 16-2 now, his lead as he gets 2 points from the takedown there. Burns having to shoot, 1:20 on the clock. Monroe circles around, has an arm through. Should be 2 points for red. He threw up the green armband, but it'll be 2 points for red there. 18-2 now. Back points for Monroe. Burns tired here, under a minute, 57 seconds left on the clock, trying to keep himself from falling by way of pin. Monroe with a 15-point advantage here. Three points for the near fall goes to Monroe, 21-3, and that will be your final here. Technical fall for Monroe. Vincent Monroe doing quite a bit of work there in that match for the 160-pound weight class. Now we'll jump up 22 pounds and we'll make our way to the 182-pounders. We got Ethan Hill of the Tigers, and he will be taking on Graham Carson. So we'll reset our scores for that match now into the beginning of the first period, or preparing for the first period here. 2 minutes on the clock in-house. Everything is ready. The official blows his whistle and we'll get things underway here. They dance now, go to tie up. Hill looks to get in, but Carson picks him up and puts him to the mat quickly. 2 points now. 1 point now to Hill on the escape. Now 2 back to Carson, cuts him loose again. Back and forth here as Carson gets the takedown and will cut Hill loose. 4-2 is the lead for the Panther wrestler. Now looking to get his third takedown here of this first period. 1:14, now 1:13, now 1:12 on the clock, and 2 points once again awarded. Now he'll get some back points as he looks to turn Hill over, and he will get the pin here. 1:05 left on the clock, so 55 seconds there on the pin for the Panther, Mr. Carson, in the 182-pound weight class. So another victory goes the way of the Panthers, and we will jump up the weight rankings here once again. We'll go to our 7th match of the evening. This to be one pitting Justin Kegley of the Tigers up against Jaden LeBeau of the Panthers. So we'll set our score at 0, and we'll get things started here in the first period. Kegley and LeBeau going at it. LeBeau, a tall 195. muscular frame. Kegley with the underhook. Looks to get the takedown as he rolls LeBeau over. They still say neutral. Oh, and LeBeau will pick up the 2 points as he's able to gain control as they both hit the mat. Now will gain back points. Pushing the right arm back. Kegley worms his way now to his stomach. Kegley to his knees now, or back to his knees. 2 back points for the red anklet of the Panthers. Back to the center, but Kegley doing some work there to avoid the pin. 4-0, LeBeau with the early lead here. First period, 1:08 left on the clock. Kegley and LeBeau standing up now as Kegley will get the escape. So 1-4 as we go under 50 seconds, now at 46:45 on the clock. Taking a shot is LeBeau, and he will get 2 points as he's able to continue to push his frame into Kegley's toward the mat. Kegley in a bad position, but his right hips are over, so if he can keep that shoulder with his hips, he may avoid the pin. But LeBeau pressing all of his body weight down here as we go at 20 seconds on the clock. It's going to be close. Got to fight here if you're Justin Kegley as they go under 15. Now he'll squirm back up, gets to his knees, has an opportunity. 3 back points go the way of LeBeau, so 1-9. But Kegley is going to survive this first period, it looks like, as we tick under 3, 2, 1, and done at the end of the first. So Justin Kegley finding himself on the mat more than he would have liked there in the first period, but he's able to survive. 9-1 the lead here for Jaden LeBeau in this 195-pound matchup, our 7th of the night here. Kegley will be down, LeBeau on top to start the second. Kegley looking to stand up. LeBeau with his right arm across, now pulling down on the head. Can't decide if he wants to reach back through the back door or try to roll him over. He tries to roll him over. Kegley still keeping one leg. LeBeau doing a nice job of keeping one of Kegley's feet back. Kegley's going to have a move here to stand up if he wants to escape and get back to neutral. LeBeau riding a little bit high onto the shoulders, and Kegley has an opportunity. If he can reverse it here and flip his hips, he might have a chance, but LeBeau doing a nice job of worming his way around and just ringing through Justin Kegley, and they work their way out the mat or out the ring, and they'll go back to the center. LeBeau has his hands on the head as they make their way back to the center. Both these men putting all of that muscle and weight into this first period, and they're tired now in the second with 1:10 left on the clock. Now 1:05 as we tick. Justin Kegley gets a left up, and LeBeau will cut him loose here, knowing he has the 7-point advantage. Now back to neutral. And both have to be exhausted here at the halfway point of our full time. Kegley now from behind will look for a hip toss, but I don't know how much gas either wrestler has to pick up the other right now. Kegley really pressing here. You can see the effort on his face, but looks like he will get the takedown, and he gets the pin. Oh my goodness. What was such a just dominating match for LeBeau. I don't know if it was just a quick effort here for Kegley or what, but really just putting the gas on and saying, I got to get out of this. He really fought for that victory and gets one on the board for the Tigers in the 195-pound weight class. That was big for Justin Kegley and big for McClain. So we'll make our way into our 8th match of the evening now, and we'll get to the heavyweight side of things as Cade Rollins will be taking on the Panthers wrestler on the 180 or 285 pound side of things. That'll be Luke Hops. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, I apologize if I'm not. But Rollins here now for the Tigers. He recently this season got his 100th win at the Southern Hills Wrestling Invitational. And we'll see how these heavyweights do. The two Dancing Bears lock up on the top part of the circle. Looks like our junior high matches are done, so we'll go ahead and focus solely in on the high school matches. You'll be able to see the time tick away on the clock here in the scoreboard. No score right now in this heavyweight matchup. No real shots taken, just a little bit of kind of back and forth hand fighting, looking for wrist control, seeing who can possibly throw the other off balance here. 1:05 now on the clock. Neither really looking to shoot at all. Now Rollins does. He goes for a double, but it was too close to the edge as they break on that contact. And they'll go back to the center. Once again, knotted up. No score here in the first. 50 seconds left on the clock. Our junior high wrestlers for both teams, congratulations to them. Rollins will get 2 points for the takedown now. They're rolling up the mats right now, so junior high doing quick work on our second mat. Rollins now will get the back points, and he will be able to pull the arm back and get the pin here. So 2 straight pins for the Tigers in the heavyweight side of things as Rollins gets the victory for the Tigers. All right, so we have some bonus wrestling for you now. Couple extras in the weight classes. We'll bounce our way back down. This will go down to the 132-pound weight class. And our secondary wrestlers in that weight class, we got Shayna Beatty, as she will be taking on Shane Seymour, the 132-pounder for the Panthers. So Shayna Beatty looking to take on Shane Seymour here. This an extra, or I apologize here. This is an extra 145-pound matchup. It's a 145-pound matchup extra. The 9th match of the night. We'll have one more match following this. It will also be an extra match, a heavyweight matchup as well. So Seymour and Beatty here. Seymour will get the 2 points on the takedown here early. Working on Beatty toward the right side. Now both officials will come over as the junior high side of things is done. So they'll get 2 sets of eyes on things. 2 back points go the way of Seymour, and they'll make it back to the center, standing up neutral as Beatty was able to get the point for the escape there being cut loose. Seymour now looking to get a single leg mixed with a throw, and he'll just kind of wrangle her to the ground. Does he against Shayna Beatty. Now looking for that same single. Left leg. Picks the heel. Now gets the 2 for the takedown. 8-2 here in the first period. We're just under a minute now. 52 seconds, 51 seconds on the clock. Seymour getting the takedown, but Beatty doing a nice job of keeping on to her base, but now she gets rolled over a little bit here, and enough that she gets both shoulder blades on the mat and will be pinned here. So the extra 145-pound matchup goes the way of the Panthers. Seymour picking up the win. Shane Seymour against Shayna Beatty there. And we have one more match for you tonight, our 10th match for the evening here in this duel between the Tigers and the Panthers. This a heavyweight matchup, and it looks to be Luke Anders of the Panthers against Rocky Jeffers for the Tigers. So we have a secondary heavyweight matchup here. Anders and Jeffers going at it. Toward the top of the circle, now back to the center. Once again, a dancing position. Jeffers now to the side as Anders gets a little bit of a side headlock in, and it looks like he will get the 2 points for the takedown. Trying to roll Jeffers over, pressing on that left shoulder. If he can just lay into him, he'll probably have the pin here as we are only 1:05 on the clock, and yep, that'll be it. So Luke Anders picks up the victory there by way of pinfall over Rocky Jeffers for the Tigers. So the dual action tonight, very quick. Overall scores for this evening, I'm not sure if they'll go ahead and put those up or not, but Miami Trace will win the duel tonight, at least on the mat. I'm not sure if all the forfeits would count one way or another for either team, but I'd say they're about equal. So I'd imagine Miami Trace picking up the dual victory tonight, at least in terms of the action we saw here on the mats. And so they'll get things cleaned up as we look to kind of wrap things up for the evening. We want to say thank you very much for joining us. We know that sometimes wrestling and some of these other winter sports that might not involve folks running up and down the basketball court sometimes get overlooked, but we want to make sure we bring some of those to you as well, because these athletes are really putting in a lot of hard work here over the winter sports season, giving their all for their teams, both home and away, and we want to make sure that we kind of honor them here as well in this season where we can't have nearly as many fans in the stands. We want to be able to bring the action to you here on the live stream as best we can so that everybody can hopefully take part and enjoy the action and the efforts of these student athletes. So we say thank you for joining us here on the McClain Athletics Facebook page, or if you've joined us on the McClain Athletics YouTube page, we thank you for that. We will be back in action with other winter sports upcoming. We do want to let you know that for those of you that are Greenfield, McClain parents or parents of a student, whether it's an athlete or not, we will not be in session tomorrow. That'll be Friday, January the 15th, nor will we be in session the following Monday for Martin Luther King Day in observance of that holiday, which would be, I believe, the 18th, and we will not be in session the 19th either. Those announcements coming out that we will not be in session on the 15th or the 19th. That's this Friday or next Tuesday. The Monday was already scheduled off. We want to let you know about that in case you have not heard or have not received the one call or seen some of our other postings. Please be aware of that. If you have any questions, you can contact your student's school office. They would be more than happy to answer any questions for you, but we will not be in session for scholastic activities Friday the 15th, Monday the 18th in observance of Martin Luther King Day, or Tuesday the 19th. Hopefully I am understanding the dates on the calendar correctly, because I'm just doing the math off the top of my head and I'm not 100% sure if I have that right. Either way, we say thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed yourself tonight. Quick action here in the duel, Miami Trace against McClain. Congratulations to those picking up victories tonight for both sides. And until the next time, this is David Weeks here in McClain Gymnasium saying good night and go Tigers.